this was one of the craziest alliance wars I've ever had. I get to take in my new rank 4 Silk in this war, along with my Tigra, which I take to almost every war, it feels like, and then Gallon. And for this first fight, we have Ant-Man on path 1, and I'm just doing it with Gallon. It's a really easy fight. He never gains regens because he's buff immune, so it's kind of a weird placement. It does give him a lot of PIM particles, which is annoying, but it just makes the fight slow. Like, you're never gonna die in this fight. It's just really slow, so it's kind of a weird placement in my opinion. But whatever. It just, maybe they were counting on like slowness for a tiebreaker. How should I know? It's just a weird placement. Anyway, I sped it up because of the slowness, and it's quite uninteresting. It's just Gallon doing Gallon things, really. The glancing makes it a lot shorter, or longer, I mean, as well. And, yeah. But this is definitely one of the more uninteresting fights. I have some really cool fights coming up, including a Kindred War Boss, and some really nice looking Silk fights. So, you're gonna enjoy seeing that. But until then, this fight's almost over, and now it is. Full yellow bar finish because of the willpower healing. And then next up is a Rintrah on path 1 as well. And this fight I'm taking with Silk. I already knew ahead of time this was going to be extremely slow just because of masochism. But it's pretty safe because Silk is pretty safe. She's got a really nice health pool, and she has the evade when you need it for the special attacks. So the only thing I need to do is just not die because it's going to be really slow. I just have to be careful. There I tried to do a wall intercept and I messed it up. Unfortunate, but it's fine. I only lost 10% of my health. I do use a lot of potions this war just because I have a lot of fights, and a lot of fights that I didn't play perfectly, although I still played pretty well on most of them. First SP2, he's already down to 56%, but yeah, again, it's just going to be really slow because of masochism. I can prevent some of the healing from masochism if I can get him in the corner. At this war, my Silk was like Sig 50 or something, meaning I had about 50% heal reduction when they're in the corner, and if you combine that with Despair, they really aren't healing that much at all if you can get them in the corner. But Rintrah is not an easy champion to keep in the corner just because of how his special attacks push him really far away from it, specifically the special one at least. And yeah, there's not much else to say other than I'm just doing a bunch of SP2s. I could have tried the SP3 rotation, which I will do in the next fight, and then probably the SP3 rotation would have been a lot better, but this is what I chose to do, and it's just long. It's really easy. Like, doing this rotation didn't make anything hard. SP3 rotation wouldn't have made anything hard either, though, so yeah, there's not much to say that made this rotation better. I don't really know. I'm just kind of rambling on because this is a really boring fight. That evade apparently saved me because I messed up my deck somehow. We have that Rupture falling off a lot quicker because Silk has Ruptures fall off 90% faster, which is a really cool utility in my opinion. It makes her not Rupture immune. However, she still takes very little damage from them, which I'm totally fine with because I think Rupture is definitely a debuff that should be kept with little immunities just because of how interesting it is. And I definitely like that there's only 2 champs that really have it, being Scorpion and Lady Deathstrike, and 3 if you count Silk. Anyway, that fight is finally over. Now this fight though, if you want to see like a nice Silk nuke or something, this fight is insane. Like, this fight was absolutely ridiculous. It was so fun. Now, the thing is, relics are not even available in Alliance War yet, and if they were, this fight would have been so much better than it already was, because this fight is already stupid, but like, if relics eventually get into the war game mode, this is just so silly. So anyway, I'm just doing my 3-hit combo, or 4-hit combos into heavy, and because you can only give Mangog hatred by finishing a combo with a light or a medium, a 5-hit combo with light or a medium, then we're perfectly safe to not give him a bunch of hatred. That was a really bad heavy whiff. I have no idea what I was thinking with that spacing, but it's okay. We're fine. He's gonna get some hatred from his SP1, but that's totally fine because once we get to our SP3, he's basically dead. and we like it when they get to basically dead. And obviously Silk's evade is just so amazing right there. As you can see, that SP2 was just nothing for her. Anyway, we're throwing my SP3 with him at 83%, and you're gonna see that we just easily take him out, starting from 83%. The SP3 itself does only 9% of his health, but you're gonna see how ridiculous this is after the SP3. And we do have some heal reversal coming with that, which is really nice, but this is still so much damage here. And we didn't even have a relic to push me to an SP2. Like, that's just so insane to me. Like, oh my gosh, that fight was so fun. I loved that. Now, this fight, I don't know if you noticed, but Tigra was dead because I originally was asking if I could Tigra this fight because it worked for me before, but for some reason it's not working now, so I wanted to get on recording why it's not working now. And for some reason he just gains like 1 billion of his passive armor ups, which didn't happen last season when I took this fight. So I don't really know what exactly is happening with Tigra in this matchup, but it's not working like it used to. So I switched to Gallon, and I'm gonna die, but if I knew the rotation with Gallon that I should be playing, this would be a lot easier. And also this Fanta Man is a very low sig, making it a lot easier than normally would be. Originally I was not throwing a bunch of harvest detonations because I didn't want to give him the regen, but I kind of realized that I had to if I didn't want to time out, and eventually I just messed up the SP1 dex and died, because I'm just not that good at dexing the SP1. But anyway, it's okay because we were ahead on deaths by quite a bit at this time, so it was worth the experiment to go with Tigra there, and then Gallon, the death with Gallon was completely my fault. It is what it is. It's totally fine. Now I know how to take this fight later, but it really only works if this guy's low sig, just because you can't really kill him if he is not low sig because of the regen being absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, next fight is going to be, I don't know why I'm claiming this solo event thing, but yeah, we decided to do that in the middle of the video. But next we are taking this Warlock, another Gallon fight. This is my last Gallon fight of the war, and this is really easy. It's got never back down, but that's never going to be a big problem for Gallon. And yeah, this is a really easy fight with Gallon because of him basically turning off Warlock's infection. Almost the more unique buffs you have, the shorter the infection is, and then Gallon has a bajillion unique buffs, so it's really easy. Like that, it just didn't trigger because the duration negation went into the negatives, which, yeah, that's really silly. But anyway, I throw my SP1 with 550 mass. It brings him all the way to 17%. I'm going to trigger the healing, but it's not like it really matters. So I just decided I was going to take less damage and not block the SP2, just trigger the regen, because who cares? And yeah, we just need one more harvest detonation, which we're going to get right here, and with only 255 mass, it does take out the last 9% quite easily. And yeah, that's my last Gallon fight of the war, thank goodness, because who wants to watch Gallon fights, you know? Next up is Titania on Path 1 Section 2 still, and there wasn't really an assigned counter for this, so I decided I would use Silk, because I figured she'd be the best for it. Gallon would also work very well here too, but yeah, with Silk this is really easy. In general, this fight's really easy. I'm just going to do regular Silk things, 4-hit combo into the heavy, and I think I'm going to do SP3 rotation. Titania has a lot larger health pool than most 7 stars, so this is not going to kill her just like the Mangog one did. This also might be a rank 2 Titania, I don't remember. This might have been a rank 2. I can't remember. I'd have to look back in the video later. But if it was, that totally explains why the SP3 rotation didn't kill her a lot faster. But she's being really stingy with that special attack, and then of course she decides to hit me as soon as the Haymaker comes back. Yeah, that's fun. But it didn't really matter because she only hit me once, luckily. And now we throw the SP3. It takes her from 67 all the way down to 59, so only 8%, but we're still getting a bunch of damage after the SP3 because of the Fury we have, and this SP1 is not going to kill, but will do quite a large amount of damage. 29k burst, and it brings her all the way down to 10%, so now we're just going to do some heavy attacks, or actually we're just going to intercept into the SP1, and it's very much over. So really easy Titania fight with Silk. And this fight originally was not assigned to me, but I asked if I could take it so I could get to the next fight quicker, and it ended up being one of the easiest fights in my life anyway. I'm not sure why they didn't assign me this fight with Tigra. I think it was originally for Absorbing Man or something. It doesn't matter anyway. This might be a no damage taken fight. I can't remember. We'll find out. No, obviously it's not. Okay. It's definitely not because I went for a parry. But this is a very, very easy fight. I do make one mistake, but I had the indestructible 3 boost, so it didn't make it a big deal. I just misspaced his SP1, but that's totally fine. The indestructible boost is gone, unfortunately, but it saved us quite a bit of health, so at least it did what it was supposed to do. But I was kind of having a panic attack because I wasn't playing very well in this fight. And then eventually I just realized, oh wait, he's already down to 34%. How did that happen that fast? And then yeah, it's just because that Tigra is kind of ridiculous. So I was kind of panicking as soon as I ate that SP1, but then I didn't even realize how quickly he was going down. So it didn't matter. Anyway, next fight is this Ebony Maw on, I do not know what node this is, but it's on the mini island, and we're going to be taking it with Silk. Silk is really good for Ebony Maw because you can charge your heavy mid combo and just make an easy heavy attack opening to knock him down and remove his focus. And obviously if he can't focus, he cannot miss you. So that is really nice and really interesting, and a very solid takedown this will be. I will make a few mistakes just like I do in every single war fight, it feels like, but this is totally fine. It is really annoying that he has so many special attacks because of the node that gives him, what does it give him exactly? It gives him half the, his special attacks cost half the power, I mean. So that's annoying, but Silk's evade is going to come in clutch because that is a very annoying special attack to evade. But we're just going to take this slow. I'm not going to try to play really aggressive. I just want to take him down as safely as possible. I could have done SP3 rotation, but it's a little bit more stressful because of how much power he has. I'm just going to block this because it's my last Silk fight and I'll have to worry about trying to play risky to save healing potions. I just need to not die, and then this is a total success. Really nice spacing on my part, if I do say so myself right there. I am going to get degened because while she does not trigger her dex buff, she can still get buffs on her. For instance, through Ebony Maw's SP1, like you saw there. And at the end of this fight, I'm going to take it very slow just because the falters are constantly triggering. I could have went for a... Oh, I did go for a heavy attack there. But luckily I still have my indestructible boost because that was really bad. And anyway, he's at 18% now, and I'm just doing my best to not get faltered and try to kill him. And I probably could have just heavied an SP1 and that would have been it, but I'm going to make sure that I finish him as safely as possible. And I'm still going to wait again because I see his focus is coming back, although I do think I could have gotten a heavy attack to knock him down before the falter would have came back. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's perfectly fine because he dies right here. And that is the Ebony Maw. And finally, the Kindred War Boss, what will probably be in the thumbnail. And I was freaking out because the last Kindred I took was on a mini island, and I lost like 40% health. And I was like, well, if this is a War Boss, I'm going to lose a lot more health unless I play differently. So I talked with my Alliance leader, actually, who took this fight last war. And he gave me some really nice tips. So you're going to see me definitely improve over the last time I took a Kindred in war. This time I am going to make sure he does not throw a heavy attack, because the last war I was baiting heavies and countering with heavies, but I didn't realize exactly what that did, and that makes him put charges on me a lot quicker, and we don't like that. So Instead, I am only going to intercept and bait specials, and hopefully that'll be all I need to do. And yeah, as you can see, it will. It's going absolutely perfectly so far, and he's being really nice. The AI is being really nice here. I'm getting the special counters really well with my spacing. I got a little scary from that resist right there, but it's perfectly fine. We are almost into the phase where he's going to start degenning me, but he's so low health right now that it's almost not even going to matter. We just get to our next SP2, and he is going to be very dead. We have to wait out the route, but that is totally fine because just a few block hits and I get to my special one to break out of it. And that is definitely one of the cleanest Kindred War Bosses I've ever seen, if I do say so myself. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I thought this war was really cool, so I decided to show you every fight, and I hope you enjoy it, and eventually I'll make a Silk in War on her own video, but that'll be in a couple days. I might need one more war of content for her to make that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.